Hello everybody, how's things? Well, yeah, so I'm back. Anyway, yeah, it's been a bit quiet on this channel for a while. I mean, there's reasons for that. I mean, I've sort of, I don't know. I think that things like real life have been sort of taking over, getting in the way. There's been a lot going on in this country anyway recently. I don't want to say too much, but general election. Yeah, there's riots and things going on as well. I don't really want to talk about that tonight. I mean, but there's been a lot of tension building anyway, and I've kind of been feeling that. And like the music's sort of been on like a bit of a back burner. It's not been at the forefront, which is it's not good. It's not a good feeling, If like if you're a musician and you can't be doing what you want to do, what you feel you were put on this planet to, what you were put on this planet to actually do, then it's very frustrating. Anyway, so last week I was down in London, down at the Guildhall School of Music again, and I did the Jazz and Rock summer school. Now I made a vlog series about this from 2022, which you can probably find actually, but I didn't this time around. I didn't really want to repeat that, just like tell you about what happened every day. Instead, I want to do this sort of like an introduction, just give like an overview of the week, but I also wanted to talk about perhaps a slight change in direction on this channel. I mean, it's still going to be mainly music focused, but I wanted to do more sort of like, like some of the takeaways from the course, like some of the things I've learnt, some of the exercises I've learnt, and perhaps turn those into exercises which maybe you can learn something from. Also appealing to I mean, it's primarily been about the guitar, but like last week, I mean, I met a fair number of musicians who aren't guitarists, but just sort of, I think maybe just maybe a bit more sort of broadly about like music making and like some of the things to learn, and like some of the pitfalls to avoid, and some tips about just to put you in the right direction, etc., etc. So I'm kind of rambling a bit now, but so I went down. So that the course. Now this time round, they actually did the induction on the Sunday, and one of my main criticisms about last time was they were trying to shoehorn the induction onto the Monday morning and then run the regular timetable, which was a bit of a problem then. So, but this time around, they did that on the Sunday, and it was a lot better. It was a lot better organised. You had to be there for registration around 1 o'clock. And then at 2 o'clock, everybody's in like the main music hall, and then the induction's there. There's a few other things going on. A bit of a staff, the staff were doing like a bit of a jam session, some warm-ups. Scott Stroman's still leading the course, although he's had his hip done, so he was hobbling around on crutches for a while, but still sort of trying to be as animated and lively as ever. But surprised he didn't actually fall over. But anyway, so he's still as boisterous and energetic as ever. And then it was like everybody's divided up into their classes. So I was focusing on the guitar, of course. Then we had two guitar teachers. So it was basically like we were then sort of given the timetable for the rest of the week. Now for the Sunday evening, because I mean there was another session. There was another session in the afternoon. So it was like a guitar class, and then there was a workshop as well, and you still had the choice of whether to do rock or jazz. So we had yes. So that was that Sunday afternoon. But in the evening, they hadn't really got anything planned. So it meant I could check in at the hotel, sort out some food, just refamiliarise myself with that area of London. I mean, like Guildhall, it's in Islington, which is sort of like the financial district of London. There's a lot of some modern buildings there, so it does look a lot like Coruscant in was it that second episode 2 of Star Wars? It is, yeah. London is starting to turn into Coruscant at the moment, but it still has that sort of London feel about it. And you know what I mean. If you've ever been to London, there's a certain atmosphere, a certain smell about it. That sounds a bit what sort of smell? Well, it's a sort of like a sort of dusty smell, but I don't know. There's some other things there as well. Anyway, let's get running off topic. So like the rest of the week, it's pretty much split up into 4 things. So in the morning, guitar tuition. Second session, you had a choice of things, whether you could do like a rock workshop, a jazz workshop, or a thing called Rhythms of the World, where you've basically it's about sort of different rhythms from different world musics, but mainly they're sort of like African or Afro-Cuban, Brazilian, that type of thing. So that was really interesting, to pick up on that. That was run by two guys basically, Winston Clifford and Flavio. I forgot his second name. But they're both really good guys, really good tutors, very patient. But like Flavio, he's got this specialism in like the different styles of sambas. So if you want to get into polyrhythms, I want to talk about some of this stuff, in the next few videos about so he's actually talking about how to build up complex rhythm patterns, because like samba, it's all about multi-layering these different rhythms on top of each other. So perhaps you're tuning in and you're thinking, well, I'm a metal guy. I play gent, or I play progressive prog or whatever. But some of those patterns, that there's some things that, there were some exercises, I'm going to count on the numbers. I say a bar of each different count. So say like 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 7, 7, 3. Just as different beats, and how you would actually count those off, But then if you're doing like sambas, which we were working on quite a lot, then there's a way of counting it. But so we were starting at like slower tempo, so everybody could get it, and then doing it at big boy tempo, so it's really fast. So you got things like, well, how are you going to count something? Like with a complex pattern like that, how are you going to count that at speed? How are you going to remember what that rhythm is? So there is a way of doing that. So but it was just really good fun. In that class, I mean, it was mainly drummers, but there were a few other instrumentalists there. There's a few other guitarists, a couple of bass players, a few keyboard players. And I think that was probably like that was. I think I had the most fun in the rhythm classes. In the afternoon, they were running the harmony classes. Now, last time I went, like I said, I was trying to do that bebop class, and I think in hindsight, either I wasn't ready for it, or it was perhaps a wrong choice. So I went along to the Monday class just to see what it was going to be like. And it was Jason again, Jason Rebello, who's a great pianist. He's going to be quite a good friend actually now. and the sax player, I think he was there last time as well, but the sax player called Tony Kofi, I think that's how you pronounce his name. And what they were doing, when they were taking a standard, I forget the name of it, but just taking like the chord progression, which is basically it's like an A flat major resolving to C major, and then how do you improvise over that? Without it sounding awful. But I was starting to, with that though. One of the issues I had was, for me, A flat is not a great key. I'm not that familiar. Like you put it in A, great, I can do that. But A flat is a bit awkward for me. I mean, for sax players, it's much better. There's a lot of standards are going to be written in these odd keys because of like sax and trumpets, etc. So I did the first one, and then I just decided, well, if I go on like this, I know what these classes are going to be like. They're going to be ramping it up, and it's going to be a bit of a car crash. So as a takeaway for me, I know I have to work on my I have to work on my scales in the obscure keys. Like A flat for me is obscure, but then there's some other ones as well which are a bit obscure. So I know I've got to do some work on that. So maybe I should do some videos on that. I don't know. Let me know. What do you think? Would that be a good thing to do? I don't know. So yes. So I decided that that I would moving forward, that I would do a different workshop instead. And in fact, I ended up doing one bit. I think it was on the Tuesday. I did a rock workshop, which is a lot of sitting about. Like last time I was sitting, that hurry up and wait thing. Where it's like it's alternates and a lot of setting up and a lot of messing around before you actually just get your turn. So I did a rhythms workshop again, and we're getting into other rhythms, like sort of reggae patterns and some soca, and sort of like calypso. It's like it's a bit like ska and a bit like calypso. Was it Lord Kitchener, Sugar Boom? You probably know that one. I'll talk about that another time. And then in the afternoon, there was a rock workshop, so I went along to that, and it was well, actually, we want to split you up into small groups. Okay, so I got put in this group with these two girls. They were both sisters, but they wanted to do some like sort of soul, funk, R&B type stuff. I hadn't realised how good they were. So if you're watching, big shout out to you. And a lad called Elliot on the bass, he's like the son of Fred Baker, who was one of the teachers on the course. He was one of the guitar tutors, and he's pretty good on bass, Elliot. Lad called Tom on drums, and then we had our tutor was Dave Gale, who he normally works with like arranging and like production, so he's very knowledgeable on musical arrangements and how to get the best out of a group and stuff like that. So we were trying all sorts of stuff. We were looking at some Silk Sonic actually. That song Skate. We were working on that, but in the end it actually just worked out. The arrangement in that song, it's very heavily layered. Without the string backing, it was a bit lacking. It wasn't quite. It was okay, but it wasn't coming across as perhaps as strong as it could have been. You're bearing in mind that we've only got like the two vocals, guitar, bass, drums, and piano, which Dave was playing. So you got to think about that sometimes. That maybe there's a good song there, but you've got to rearrange it so that it fits your group. But I mean, like throughout the week, we were playing all sorts of stuff. We did some Stevie Wonder, the Higher Ground. So we looked at the Red Hot Chili Peppers arrangement of that, and realised that again, perhaps like with the production on it, maybe it would be a bit too ambitious to do it like they'd done it. The way Stevie Wonder did it, it was all like clavinet mainly. But so we took some of, I took some of, I say we, I took some of the ideas from the Red Hot Chili Peppers thing. Some of the things that John Frusciante was doing, I was starting to bring into the guitar. But instead of those, we were starting out with those big, heavy, distorted power chords. I was changing it so it was more like something that Steve Cropper might do. I should talk about this in another video as well, actually. In the evening, Tutor's concert, and then after that, there was this thing called the Club, which is basically like an open mic. So that was running between sort of 8:30ish. I played. I decided I'd have a go on the Monday because I knew it'd be pretty quiet. And I did one of my pieces. It's actually on the channel. It's called Emotionally Unavailable. Now, originally I'd written it for 7-string, so I was trying it on guitar, just regular 6-string, and it actually worked quite well. And I was really surprised by the response I got. It just went down really, well. And then either after the show or the next day, I was going to get people coming up and say, "Yeah, I really enjoyed your guitar playing. I thought it was good," which is always a good confidence boost. When you sort of like, when you've not been doing much sort of live performance or like playing in bands, and where things like your day job and your day-to-day life starts to take over, it is always refreshing to get compliments like that, which is great. So then like the pattern for the week was pretty much the same. It was like those 4 classes. Pretty much stuck to that. So what I was doing was guitar tuition in the morning, rhythm workshop, another rhythm workshop, and the soul funk R&B band in the afternoon, Tutor's concert, and in the club where I might have played or I might not have done. But it's just good. Like in the club. That's some of the best time actually on these courses, because you get to see what other people are doing, and whereas like last time it was like these heartfelt songs that people had written, like Girls at the Piano or somebody like just with a guitar. It was people just like doing like covers of things, and like I'm really impressed by the actual standard of the playing. Like a lot of these young people coming through, and actually are at a really high level. There's like less of that sort of amateur night feel, but more sort of like bordering on the edge of becoming sort of semi-pro level, but just needing that little bit of more encouragement, or that little bit taking you in the right direction. I think that's about all I really want to say tonight. There's a lot, there's a lot I could actually talk about, because it's a full week, obviously. I got some more subscribers from it. I was quite surprised about that as well. There was some, I was watching. We were, but just during the Friday concert, I was sat there. I went over the week. As you do if you're on YouTube and you upload stuff regularly. I was looking at like, hang on, the numbers going up. The numbers are going up again. What's going on? Oh, numbers are going up. This is strange. So anyway, so it was getting to like it was the Friday concert, and as that's running, there's some seats at the back of the theatre, like the back of the stage where we can watch it from the back. So I'm just sat there, and then I felt this tap on my shoulder, and then it's this girl called, I think it's called Reem, yeah, big shout out if you're there, and she says, "We love your YouTube channel," and it was it was her and like that's sort of these 3 other girls. And they're all saying, yeah, we love your YouTube channel, and so I was really quite flattered by that, So because I mean I'm sort of, I can be quite a shy person, you know. I'm not you know, I don't big myself up that much, you know. But I was quite flattered by that. So yeah, but like I say, I mean, I don't want to I don't want to be too long tonight, because I mean I've got a lot to unpack, which I want to do over a few other videos, you know, just so that, not just like, you know, so give you guys a flavour of what it was like there, but more, like I say, so that I can perhaps, you know, like maybe I can impart some of that wisdom, you know, to you, you know, these, you know, some of these techniques and tips which I picked up, and anecdotes as well. You know, I'm sure they're going to be of a lot of use. You know, that I mean, I know, I mean, I don't perhaps have as much theory knowledge as somebody like Rick Beato, but I'd like to do it. You know, like ideally, I'd like this channel to be something similar to that, but more sort of things about, you know, like stuff either you can do as a solo musician, or things that you can sort of, you know, do sort of like in a band situation. You know, some exercises to try in a band. You know, things which will actually just get you better, or get you closer to where you need to be, sort of things. Or just, you know, that just help you so that you can start to window in on perhaps some of your own weaknesses, or areas where you think, yeah, maybe I could do some improvement on that. Or, you know, maybe you know, you've got things where you want to improve, but you don't really know where to start, you know. So yeah, like I say, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching as always. Please consider subscribing. Thanks to all my new subscribers. That's always great. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Alright, thanks for watching.